Alright, I'm gonna start snoring.
Yeah.
This is where I swear 3 times more than I used to.
Feel the need. 1940.
Okay. You're good to go, James?
Yep, recording's good.
Who would like to give us a little recap, or shall I?
Sure. We swam through a cave, trying to help Mountain Man find some stuff. Things he needed to brew a potion. Half of us couldn't see. Bjorn got stuck. Almost would have been a killer. Made it through. Part of seeing some Altair went and saw some special crystal. Gathered some plants, and there was 2 snakes at fault. And one that was picked up and dangled by Bjorn for everyone else to stab.
Yeah, there was.
By the way, very much appreciate it because it was epic.
Very much appreciate the what, sorry?
Putting it that way because it was really cool.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet. I think how everything just kind of played out, even with Mumble natural 20 in his book. Anyway, yeah. It was pretty fucking. But yes, that is indeed what happened. A shiny D6 of inspiration for you, Dan. Hey, but yes, you all find yourself sort of post this battle with these large sort of blood snakes that you had sort of encountered in this cave. As mentioned, Altair did experience a vision through one of these crystals in which you harvested some of that, which you do have possession now. I know you're currently sort of holding this crystal, or have set it down for the time being, as you don't really possess any of your bags. And, well, I'm not sure. Everyone had sort of left a lot of stuff behind in that cave.
I brought 1 bag.
Okay. So you will have at least something to carry that crystal around. It's making a little less. Hey, Jesse.
Yo.
We were just starting. So good timing. But yes, you do find yourselves sort of in this somewhat illuminated cave. You feel a little bit stronger post that fight. But this cave is yours. What would you all like to do?
Gustav probably start harvesting 1 snake for whatever he can.
Okay.
Mumbleman is trying to go after poison from the snakes. So if they've
Okay.
got poison sacs or their fangs or any liquids spewing from their mouths, he's trying to gather all that stuff.
Okay. Are you going after the same one that Goose is, or are you doing the other one?
Is Goose doing the one with the broken tooth, or which one is Goose doing?
Yeah, I'll go ahead with the one with the broken tooth.
Then I'm doing the other one.
Okay, so this is the one with the broken tooth over here. And then that. So you guys can make survival checks to begin your harvest. Altair and Bjorn, what are you two? Ooh.
Maybe I can look around and see if I noticed rune thing on anything.
Runes on anything?
Yeah, carved anywhere that I didn't do.
Okay. Give me a perception check while you start to scan the room as everyone begins to sort of branch out and harvest.
Now my survival check would have a +2 on it for my herbalism kit, but
Okay.
and my tinker's tools and all that other stuff.
Okay. Bjorn begins to look around. Altair, what do you do?
I'm. I don't think I do anything. I think my guy's just satisfied with what he has found. So
Yeah, it is a moment of promise for you, especially sort of obtaining one of these crystals, especially one of the ones you're more familiar with versus, the queen style one. And Barney, what are you doing?
Should we kill these things? Barney kind of stumbles back, goes like to his knees. He's like, "Good lord!" Oh, and he's holding these two ginormous fang wounds, like gaping holes in his torso, and he'll rip off one of his shabby pockets on his pants and kind of like start jamming it into the holes. Stupid snakes.
Mumbleman is too excited by the snakes and the potential for newfound materials that he doesn't even notice that he's hurt.
Barney's just packing the holes and trying to stop the bleeding. Just laying on the ground, like, oh.
Okay. So, what I'll say for Mumble Man, you don't really find much as far as like the venom sac or anything like that out of the snake. But if you wanted to try and get scales, you could probably get a few of those.
I'm
That's probably
actually
about it.
more interested in the skin itself than the scales.
Okay. Which you can definitely harvest a chunk of skin. Not really something that's going to be too difficult. So that would be, I guess, no skin. I would just go skin.
Yep.
Yep.
No, I'm gonna use it for like the tubes and stuff for my regular attacks is my plan.
Okay.
So it's stuff that I'll be constantly harvesting when I can to make my attacks and whatnot. So I'll always be doing that sort of thing.
Okay. So, and then we move over to Goose. You harvest an intact venom sac from the one. You would get both fangs and scales if you want them.
Want them.
Okay. So, yes, one venom sac, two fangs, and some shedding. Which is a good one. But, that does take a little bit of time for you guys to sort of skin and harvest. And Altair, you sort of watch everyone start to spread out, look around, take what they can. You watch Bjorn. Bjorn, you start to look around at looking for carvings across any of these crystals and any of the stones or the faces of any of these walls, which you don't see. There's no markings or, hieroglyphs or anything like that in here like that. It's just this naturally sort of preserved cave here.
Eventually, I will see Barney and go to help him staunch his wounds.
No,
Can
I think I got it. I'll pull my hands away. Oh no, I didn't get it. I didn't get it.
I'd like to collect some of just the blue crystals, um, for potentially some sort of crafting in the future.
Sure. So you're looking for like shale pieces or like looking to harvest into something
Um,
specific?
I guess some, like various sizes of them. Some that would be, I guess, a typical gym size. Some that maybe are long and thin. Just
Okay.
an assortment of stuff, if possible.
Okay. I would say there would be a couple pieces of normal, like gem-sized ones that you can definitely get. But if you're looking to obtain unique pieces, that is going to involve. Sorry, 1 second. Sorry. But yeah, there's two easily accessible pieces for you to grab. But again, if you want unique shape ones, you'll probably have to try and prospect for those.
I'd like to try that. I'd like to try to get, I guess, like a wand-sized one,
Okay.
and maybe a bigger one that could potentially be made into a shield.
Oh, so you're going for a large fucking chunk.
Yeah.
Okay, so that'll definitely involve trying to harvest from these crystals of something that size. So you can give I don't want to make it sound so similar, but a survival check to try and mine away this.
Okay.
And then based on what you roll here will be sort of what will determine what's going on. Okay, 22 is pretty fucking good. Describe to me how and what you're going to use to try and harvest from the crystals.
I think I'd go to a bigger one and try and chip off like the point of it to make it like a flat top. And then I would take my staff and like slam it down on the top of it, trying to break off a bigger piece.
Okay.
I guess.
Which crystal are you gonna? Which one are you doing that?
Probably. How do I mark or ping? Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
one.
Yeah. Okay. It will take you a bit of time, but you definitely can start to do so. And you will get a shard of crystal that's going to be pretty large. The issue is that if it's going to, like, are we going like buckler sized or like round shield size? What do we?
Um. Let me just Google shield types real fast. um. Maybe a.
Like a 2-3 foot round sort of section? Is that what you?
Something like a heater shield,
Okay.
I
Yeah.
guess, but
So
maybe stubbier.
what I'm going to say is you were able to get a large chunk of this crystal to dislodge with that roll, but working it into a usable piece where it's not this cumbersome heavy chunk of crystal is where the task will come into play. So you can dislodge like the top portion of the crystal. It's going to weigh probably 30 or so pounds. But then you'll have to work this crystal into form to get it to be more shield shaped rather than just like you don't just chip
Yeah.
away and off comes this perfect crisp
No, of course. Yeah.
shaped chunk of crystal. So you have a large crystal which is big enough to work with. You'll just have to actually work it into the shape over time.
Okay.
But again, it is also, you have the 10-pound previous chunk that you have in your bag and this 30-pound chunk, just to
Yes.
be aware of the weight that you're starting to get here. But then on as far as wand size ones, the time that you've taken so far, which is going to be about, I'd say, half an hour of chipping and working to get the cap to come off, so that you don't have one necessarily yet that is wand shaped or anything yet.
All good. All.
Okay. But yes, Bjorn, you do not see any sort of scribed marks, runes, anything like that carved in here. And everyone else who was skinning and harvesting has completed that as well. Mumbleman, you have seen Barney's wounds, and we are here.
So, I do pull out some paste and an unguent and, pack his wound and wrap it the best I can with some newfound snake skin because I don't have anything else on me.
Can you make a paste that doesn't sting this bad? Oh.
No, not here. And I've already used all the good stuff for today. I
That's
need to
fair.
make more.
Thank you.
You'll be fine as I pat and, poke and prod right into the wounds. Doesn't look like you've got any leftover poison in there at all.
You guys all sort of experience that little bit of cave that starts to chill you down a bit as you start to realize that you're all pretty much naked and have worn off from being wet. So, but the grass feels.
So,
If y'all are-
Mumbles, have you gotten what you want from down here?
Yeah, I got lots of it. I got everything that I can see, so we should get out of here.
Yes, I was going to recommend we get the fuck out.
Let's go ahead and head off that way.
The darkness begins to creep up once more, those beginning to push into the cave.
I check out my freshly packed wounds. I'm like, oh, thank you. I look like a snake now.
Well, maybe if any luck, I'll get some good scars out of it, because chicks dig scars.
I like to do the Overwatch thing again, bouncing around from the ceiling in the roots. Just keep an eye out.
Sure thing. It's a bit difficult just as you are. Because, okay, here's where we were having this sort of blind sight conversation last time about how that operates. And typically that's to notice and see things approaching or that are encroaching upon you. I don't know if it's really one of those like echolocation type things where it allows you to sort of see per se, but I feel like you're definitely able to jump up, grab some roots, and start to swing and try and grab, but it's also pretty difficult with your one hand.
That's true.
So, well, how do you describe how Goose is gonna to Tarzan his way through this cave?
Well, as Tarzan, he kind of swings with two hands. Goose Fat uses one hand, but he kicks off the walls with his legs to swing instead of using momentum from grabbing vine to vine. He's just kind of kicking from wall to wall and stabilizing himself with the vines with his hand.
Yeah. Okay. It takes a little bit. You've been in this sort of bright chamber for a good while, so you have that sort of, I'm going to say, immediate blindness of just the going back into the darkness, I guess. So it does take you a bit to find your momentum, swinging, and you almost miss shoot swinging from the vines, and you're like, "What is the wall?" real quick, and you kind of hit it and brace yourself. Okay, and you're starting to feel out the distance between as you go through. Everyone can hear Goose start to swing through, and Mumbleman, you would see him jump up and swing, and then hit the wall, stop, take a second to try and look around if you can, and then swing across and hit the other wall.
Yell
But
back and ask, Altir, are you coming?
Yes, sorry. It's moving put stuff in my inventory.
But yeah, you're sort of hupping along with this large crystal as well, which also loses its illumination as it's been detached from the rest of the cluster. So it does not provide any form of light, although it is, I'm not going to say glowing, but it is dimly starting to fade away as it's broken away from its original cluster.
Okay.
So while we were fighting those snakes, were you ever worried about getting your dick bitten? I said to Bjorn.
No.
Just oh, I
Where
don't know
I
how you were
come,
I don't know how you were fighting like that.
I don't know why
As
you're
a
staring
drag-
at it so hard.
where I come from, as a dragonborn, we use snakes for pleasure.
Bjorn stops, stares at him. But some things are better just left not said.
You hear Mum talking to himself. He's like, "So how do I get out of here again?" Yeah. It's got to be this way. It's the only way to go.
You know, a lot of you
Don't
guys
take
are
us to the
starting.
rats again.
I mean, the rats kind of ran away last time because they died.
A lot of
Okay,
you are
yeah.
sort of creeping through here and feeling the roots sort of underfoot. A lot of you can't quite see, so it's a slow progression of movement here.
Right. So there's that husk. Yeah. Okay, I know where I am.
The water.
Goose, you can feel a lot of the vines that start to grow a bit more larger in this vicinity from where you once were. But a lot of it is slightly familiar to you as you start to swing through here.
My death place.
I hope that Barney guy is gonna be okay. I don't. Those wounds are kind of severe. I'm mumbling to myself, but I'm looking at Morn.
What'd you just say?
Thought you said he would be okay.
You said they were fine.
I
I
said
start
yeah.
I start frantically patting my wounds.
Yeah. You're okay. Don't worry about it. Just think positively, okay? You're
Okay.
not.
Yeah.
I promise we won't leave you in the cave.
Underwater.
Bjorn, you sort of are walking a bit, hands out in front of you, and you sort of like hit wall. Like, oh, you have to readjust and keep going.
Um. Is any who's carrying the torch right now?
I can't see shit.
Yeah, I don't think there's any torches. I know that
Oh,
there was
I have the light thing.
the glow.
Yeah, I have the
Vial.
glow
Yeah,
orb
okay.
on me.
Okay, perfect. I was sorry.
But yeah, that's only like 5 feet of light. And,
I still had my little torch that I've been feeding grass into. I mean, I can't anymore because we're waiting
Oh,
for
that's right.
grass.
You have that fucking torch you made.
yeah, but it's gonna
Yeah.
be running short because torches are only good for about an hour, and we spent a half hour at least in that room, let alone the battle and getting to it.
Yeah,
Well, that's why I kept feeding grass into it.
yeah.
So
Around
now
here
it's
too,
now there's
you would have
nothing
been
around
able.
here.
Yeah, right before the area in which you had come from would have definitely yielded materials to put in that. But this is the area where you start to realize you're getting into that more dank section with the water runoff along the sides.
Yeesh.
Has anybody seen the no? I had a thought.
What?
Well, nothing. It wasn't important. If it's important, I'll remember.
Okay. Well, you keep almost mentioning things, and then we keep almost dying to them.
Well, almost is not death.
Well, I mean, I still might die.
Well, if there's a good yeah, you might, but you got to think positively. And if you die, you're not gonna, we won't leave you in the cave.
I always pictured myself dying in a bed, surrounded by beautiful women and men. Now look at me. I'm gonna die swimming in a cave. Oh,
I always thought I'd get younger before I died.
Oh.
Oh.
Goose, you swing through, continuing to swing into this more open chamber. Jesus. The roof begins to get a bit higher as you realize that the ground is starting to fade as you're probably about 15, 20 feet up swinging now. and those that are illuminated can see that you squeeze through this wall that you had cut through earlier to get to this point. So you've reached the point where Mumbleman couldn't progress further, and you realize that you're pretty close to that reservoir that you had to swim through.
I'll let you guys know. I'm a little scared to go back in the water.
I'm gonna let you know. I'm a little scared for you.
Well, if you die, I think we're gonna leave you in the cave because you're kind of big to carry out.
If I die
But
in the hole,
you're not gonna die. You made it through once. We'll figure out something for you to go through again. In fact, you know what? You should let me go first because I have just the thing.
Altair was completely lost in the sauce and forgot that he had to swim. So he just sets the crystal down because he can't swim and carry it.
Okay.
He did all that and was like, damn it.
Shit. But yeah, you set that crystal down. You do have that other portion that is in the bag. But yeah, the large chunk that you're sort of been holding and carrying through here, you've reached this sort of either a challenge or a slight impact to your choice.
So Mumbleman starts going through the couple of pouches he's got, and you see him go through the first one and the second one. He's like, I know they're in here somewhere. Where the hell did I? And he goes through the third one. He's like, shit, I hope I didn't lose them. Where are they? And he goes back to the first one. He's like, did I leave them on the other side? How are we gonna get through if I? No, they gotta be here. Has anybody seen 5 little vials of that stuff we drank before we came across?
only gave us
No.
lunch.
Barney's just got his hand over his eyes. He's like, oh.
So, and at that point, at this point in time, Mumbleman will actually take each individual pouch, open them up, dump them out, and start going through them. And then he finds them. He goes, "Oh, here they are. I'm so stupid sometimes." And he sets them aside, and then he starts repacking everything, and he's taking really extra precaution with the stuff he harvested from the room with the snakes. Like, I
Yeah.
need to make sure this is really good.
Yep.
And then he passes the vials around and goes, "Remember, this stuff only works for a short period of time." And okay, so I'm gonna go first, and I think I've got a way to kind of make that section that you found tight, Bjorn, a little more slick and greasy. Um, and I don't know if it'll work underwater or not, but it should. And well, if it doesn't, then we'll just have to hope for the best, okay?
Well,
Mm.
don't make all of it greasy, so we have somewhere to grab. So he has somewhere to grab.
Um, well, I
Why don't you grease him up?
well, because
Yeah.
I don't know how well it's gonna work.
I don't know if grease underwater just trying to swim past rocks will help much, if any.
Yeah. What if we put it like on his shoulders and like his back? Here, I'll even volunteer to do it.
Bjorn gets a little uncomfortable and covers himself.
Well, if he gets in just like a pose where his arms are completely straight up and his legs are completely straight, and we just have one person pull him on the other side instead of him trying to swim through.
Well, okay. Here's the thing with the stuff I was gonna use, is it's gonna cover a pretty big area, and then I can't make it smaller. Um, it's got this one container of this stuff, and when I use it, it's gonna spread out and it'll stick to the walls. I know that. I don't know if it'll stick to him, and and the skin and that was might be what makes it greasy. It's I don't know.
What
So-
if it makes the water thicker?
And what if you try and put it on the stuff and it gets everything else besides him greasy?
He made it through last time. Just make. You know how you had to turn? Just take your time, and I'll go right ahead of you with the light so you can see exactly where you need to go, and just take your time and work your way through slowly.
All right,
Don't
let's
get
go.
too rambunctious.
Okay, well, don't say I didn't try to help. And I swallow my vial and dive into the water.
Wait, give us the vials.
I did pass them out already.
Okay.
Okay.
Later,
Oh.
Sorry,
No,
I thought I passed them out already. Meanwhile, they're sitting on the cave floor, side by side, and on this little small piece of cloth.
Okay. I'll.
and we are
Yep.
for sure. These are the ones we drink, not apply to us, right?
He's already gone.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I dove into the water.
Yeah.
I forget that you guys can't see it and stuff.
At some point, guys, we're gonna have to let that go. That I tried to drink something that was meant to be topical, but you gotta say that first.
When we get back to town, not a word of this. Okay?
It doesn't. What happens in the cave stays in the cave.
I'll pick up
Oh,
the
but you
vials
wouldn't
off
let me grease them up. Come on.
I'll pick up the vials off the ground and hand them out.
Yeah. Okay.
To be fair, who would put a topical ointment in a vial?
Valid.
Mumbleman, you get through. You've jumped into the water. You swam down. It's a bit blurry, but you do see where you're going, sort of, and then sort of put your way through and surface on the other side.
So, I think we gotta go Altair, Goose, and then Bjorn. Or
Sure.
Altair, Goose. Yeah,
I mean,
and you go ahead, and then I'll go behind.
Oh my god.
What's that for?
As soon as I popped up the other side, I waited about 2 seconds, and I phased out like I phase out, and then I phased right back in real quick. But I thought time had passed, and because I thought a lot of time had passed, I automatically cast that grease spell on the spotting behind me.
Okay.
So,
So
you-
who was coming through next? Was Altair? Okay,
yeah.
so
So
Altair, you
we just can't climb out of the pool. We just
what it is you're approaching the hole and you feel this blotchy sensation of things that are starting to clump up and stick to you. It's going to make it difficult. Well, to a degree, it's going to make it that everyone has to make a roll to pass through here.
okay.
Not that it's gonna. It's not the same as getting stuck. It's the same of the feeling is different and it's discombobulated everyone pulling through. So, I
and
need.
they don't have the glowy thing out either that gives them like the black light.
I know, and he just dove right through.
Yeah. What I
Well,
want to say.
we're all. I have it, don't I?
If you remember to
Well,
bring it out.
Yeah. I'm gonna have this thing out. That's why I told the order to go in, so that we everyone could get light.
Okay.
If and I'm gonna catch Goose here, and I'm gonna be like, oh, actually, I meant let's switch places. Or I'm gonna give Goose the orb to hold out. No, wait, you have a sword hand. You need a hand to swim.
I mean,
Yep, let's switch.
I can
Let's
do
switch
it.
places. Okay, I give you the orb, so you have the light now. I don't.
So where am I going?
Okay.
These potions are
Okay,
going to be up by the time we figure out how to get.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I didn't know if we had drink them yet, personally.
I drunk
I
mine
give Altair the orb. Goosefat goes first. Goosefat, then Altair, then Bjorn, then me.
Okay, sure.
Let's go.
What do I have to roll to get through?
Goose, your first.
You can give me a perception check or a survival check. The perception is if you're literally trying to perceive yourself moving through the waters, or you can make a survival check to try and track and feel your way through, which a lot of you kind of have to do since you're sort of. I guess the perception would be technically at disadvantage because no one has blind sight.
Fuck.
Goose Fat jumps in, starts to go through, starts to feel the strange sensation in the water. It is off. It's really strange and off-putting, and it's starting to make everything feel the same. Start to move on the sides of the walls, and it's slippery. It's slippery. It's slippery. You feel rock, but it's slippery, and you're starting to, and boom, you see Altair bump. You bump into something sort of furry and soft, and you see that Goose is in the middle of panicking, trying to find out where they're going. You catch a little bit of glimpse of the light from Barney way back that catches on some of the side walls, but
I gave the light to Altair. That's why we
Oh,
just
so
did that
Altair
whole
has the
thing.
light. Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
Altair
okay.
has the light so that he gets like Goose can see, and then Bjorn can see the hole really well, and then I'll just kind of follow Bjorn.
Okay, so what happens then? Sorry, I didn't realize you gave that to Altair.
Yeah, that's why I
Altair,
did that hole.
you bump into Goose and drop the vial, and it smashes off the and it's no longer illuminated, which creates panic as you go backwards, and you are met with Bjorn, who is trying to go through, and then you move forward and you bump into Goose that is starting to have a hard time. You all are beginning to experience this small network of cave is starting to not go so hot, and you're starting to get turned around, and you're in that moment where you're breathing underwater, but then it's like, what's up, what's down? I can't see fucking shit, and no one's going anywhere. As you're all starting to bump heads. What do you guys do?
Gonna fucking drown in here.
Oh, good God! I'm just gonna grab my holy symbol and start praying. Like,
Can
please,
Goose
Lord,
kind of
if
like
you're here.
search around trying to find like an air pocket to get air?
You can definitely try.
I guess. Can I use? I'm gonna use my last current spell slot before the level up. And I'm gonna cast Fairy Fire
Okay, cool. That's
and see if that just lights stuff up.
okay. Can everybody, can Goose, Bjorn, and Barney make a dexterity saving throw at disadvantage?
Okay.
I would say, Altair, you also feel the bubble throat, which means that potion is nearing the end of its lifespan. You had experienced that before when it was about to burst. Disadvantage. Okay, so what is your 13? Yeah, sorry, I see it.
Yeah.
So Bjorn becomes illuminated, and Goosefat become illuminated. Barney does not become illuminated. So the light that is produced by Goose, you're in the midst of looking for an air pocket, and when the moment you light up, you realize that you're staring right at this rock wall as you have this slight amount of glow that comes off yourself, where you're able to redirect yourself and go up under one section, go up under one section. You feel the bubble of the potion wear off, so you're on your natural breath, which is based off your con. So I think you got 4 or 5 minutes. But a minute into that, you realize, oh, I was going the wrong way, and you pull yourself up and through and out, and then surface on the other side. Altair, you see Bjorn is illuminated as Goose has disappeared, and the trail of his glow gives you a slight sense of direction, but your bubble bursts as well as far as your potion wears off. And Bjorn, you reach that point with your illumination where you can see the narrow passage where you have to squeeze through with an athletics check, please. So, Altair, you have slight vision in this moment. What are you doing?
Trying to get through.
Okay. Bjorn, you get to that point where you had wedged yourself before, being more familiar with it. grease in the water. It is not as hard of a challenge as it once was. You get to that point and you go, okay, here it is, and squeeze through, barely squeezing through again. And Barney, you watch the glow of Bjorn kind of go thunk into that, past that portion where he got stuck. And you're thinking, holy shit, but you do feel your potion fade as well.
Could I
And
have done
that,
some RP before that?
yeah, absolutely.
So like as soon as I saw them all panicking, Barney goes, "Oh, we're dying here," like, and then so he's like, "My only shot," and he grabs his holy symbol off his neck and like yanks it off, and he goes, "I don't know why you chose me. I'm a piece of shit. I don't know what you were thinking, but please, 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 just give me a little bit of light."
Okay.
And I
Are you,
go like,
are you
and I
casting
like
anything?
eyes closed, and and then I like say a little prayer to that I remember from when I was younger, and I no, because I don't know any spells right now, and
Okay. No, that's
and
fair.
I like it's just I say a prayer to my God, and like when all this was all happening, and I think I probably opened my eyes while the whole like fairy fire thing was happening, and I'm like,
Okay.
unlucky, and I'll shove it in my pocket when I see the lights, and then try to catch up after Bjorn
Yeah, your holy
when I feel
symbol
it going
doesn't
out.
necessarily react to light, but when
I,
you clutch it for that moment and actually have this heartfelt moment of prayer trying to reach out to someone or something, it does like sort of thumb and vibrate a little bit with that, but nothing emits from it other than that before you see the light and you are trying to rush yourself through this cave. Those who get through, you are on the last sort of minute or so of your natural breath before things are going to really go bad. So, boom, that would be Goose emerging. Mumbleman, you're sort of sitting there after, 3, 4, 5 minutes. And then up emerges Goose Fat. And then a minute passes. Altair emerges. Jorn emerges. And then Barney emerges. It is pitch black on the other side. Your left torches have extinguished. A very close call.
My character now goes and puts clothes on because he's been naked the whole time.
Some light. I need some light.
Okay.
Is there any light?
I just blindly like crawl my way to the shore. Oh,
Oh, am I still glowing from fairy fire?
How long does Fairy Fire last?
10
10
minutes.
Okay, so yeah, that would have faded by the time you got out. Pretty much right on the edge of you getting out.
shit.
Very close though. That was an extremely close call as far as getting not so much stuck this time, but misdirected. But with the use of illumination and quick thinking, you're able to move through there. Although it might have a traumatic effect on you in the future.
Can't see any of my stuff. A little help.
Yeah.
Here, I can pass it to you. I hear it. It's right here. And I pick it up and I hold it out to him. And when I see his hands waving around a little bit, then I like grab an arm and I hand it over to him.
Or you could light a torch.
Where would I get a torch?
My bag's over there. I don't know.
Do you have a
I
torch
point it
in
in
your
this
bag?
direction. Yeah.
Okay. I seek out his bag and
Okay.
leaf through it. Does he have anything of interest besides torches?
I don't know what's in your bag.
And that one, I guess you'd find scimitar, bedroll, mess kit, rations, rope.
I grab some rations and start gnawing on it as I flick my flint and light a torch.
How many rations do you
Just,
take?
I just take one.
What? Okay.
I just absentmindedly, I'm a little hungry, and it's like I saw it as I was leaving through, and I just grabbed it and started eating.
I put the illumination on Altair. I just realized that. But Mumbleman lights the torch.
Ooh.
I'll
I get
probably
dressed.
take the torch after he gets done since he doesn't need it. Or after I get dressed since he doesn't need it.
But you do have light. You can see that the extinguished torch is sort of burnt into the ground over here on the ground. But everyone does gather their belongings.
Now, can I check and make sure all of my stuff is there as I'm putting it on?
Okay. Mumbleman, did you take anything else other than that?
No, I was just
Okay.
looking for something roleplay wise. I'm not,
Okay.
generally that type. It was just.
Very well. But yes, everyone does regather their stuff once the light hits. You sort of remember where you had left your stuff. But yes. Also, as well, everyone is slick. The grease spell that sort of emulsified in the water, I guess, emulsifies, sort of globbed up in the water, had passed, and everyone who passed through it now has this sort of oily grease all over them as well, just as a side note. But you are indeed on the other side and out of the water.
Why did you put the grease? I thought we said no grease. Ugh.
Well, you're taking so long.
We were right behind you.
No, like I was over here forever. I thought something had gone wrong.
Actually behind you.
I want to come over here to where there's a little bit of grass and stuff, pull up some grass and kind of try to wipe off some of the grease from my hands and my stuff that I have to put on.
Okay.
Before Barney puts his gear on, he's going to like kind of roll around in the dirt and try to like rub off the grease and the dirt and stuff like that.
Okay.
Just cover himself in.
I feel like grease on a reptile wouldn't feel bad. It might actually feel good. So I don't
Yeah.
think Altair would do anything.
Oh, what is this
Orange
stuff
wipe
out
them.
there? It's pretty good. As I bite off another piece of whatever ration I stole.
That was Bjorn, wasn't it?
What would my rations be?
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Oh, so maybe I was wrong. Sorry.
Goose, how you doing?
I guess my rations would just be dried animals, like literally like a tiny bunny that's dried out, fur and bones and everything.
It's so much better than the stuff I make.
Or like squirrels that are dried, like.
Goose will look over at you warily, kind of judging you for eating a rabbit.
How long would it take me to wipe all that grease off, the grass, dirt, and stuff?
Just a couple minutes, and it's easy for you to do. You just sort of grab, a couple clumps of this overgrowth and start wiping yourself down. It doesn't get all of it, but it, takes a good part of it off anyways.
After rolling in the dirt, I'm gonna rubbing dirt all over. I'm gonna switch to wiping it off with grass. Just then I'll put my gear on and be like, better than nothing.
Just didn't want all that grease sitting on top of grease isn't horrible for leather. Too much is too much. All right, let's get out of here so we can. Mumbleman can make this potion.
As Barney catches up, he's kind of like wiping his hair.
It's like a natural gel.
It's just all like muddy and dirty.
And you start to push through, sort of now illuminated, it makes it a lot easier to see, revealing some of the nooks, crannies, and corners. But you can see a lot of the stuff that you had picked through here as you move through the first time, and get into some familiar areas, the overgrowth, all the roots and vines that have pushed through, and You're like, wait a minute, this looks really familiar. And then you feel the sort of breeze as you start to see some of the illumination from the light of the cave mouth. And you can smell the char in this area from where you had burned rats. You can see the burnt rat corpses on the ground.
Yummy, yummy.
Goosefat will pick up one of the rat corpses and start to sniff.
It's a little bit chilly now, but it definitely had been cooked at some point. And there it is, with the illumination now sort of catching your eyes, Altair, especially there. You realize that you are pretty close to the exit to the cave.
Hey, where'd the old guy go? Is he all the way up ahead? Jesus.
I yell back, Mumble Man, this way.
Are you sure? I thought it was this way.
He went to the rats again,
No.
didn't he?
Come to the light.
He went to the rats again.
I feel like when he saw the rats, it was like last week or something. It wasn't a long time ago.
So you all start to reach and see the natural light. It's sort of a bit blinding at first. It's like, oh, thank God, sweet, and start to move forward. You get about 20 or so feet from the mouth of the cave, and you hear splashing coming from outside. If you remember, outside the cave was this sort of natural little pond area that you had to loop around to get into there. And outside in the water is something that's splashing, making a bunch of noise. You just haven't seen entirely what it is yet.
Can Goosefat try to sneak up on whatever's making this noise?
Sure you can. Get a stealth check from you, please and thanks. Feeling pretty confident, you start to skulk along the side of the wall before you get about 5 or so feet out from the mouth of the cave, and you start to poke out and look around and look around. And as you're starting to just get to the point where you're going to crest around the mouth of the cave, actually seeing the pond, you start to hear whatever it is. There's something out there is, chewing at each other and splashing around in the pond. And you sort of poke out and actually see, and you can see that there's a few Macao, the sort of little reptilian creatures that are playing with each other or play fighting in the water, while you take in the scene of about 3 or 4 others that are bent over drinking water while these 3 sort of splash and kick around. And as well as one that is a lot larger than the other 5 or 6 that happen to be playing in the water. But they are in the midst of sort of chilling by this pond and drinking the water from it in the middle of this, and this is what you sort of emerged out onto. So
Does
no one,
the pond reach to the mouth of the cave?
sort of. Everyone wouldn't. I've moved the map over. Everyone's still slightly in the cave. So Mumbleman, Bjorn, Altair, and Barney haven't seen quite what Goose has seen yet. But for that, what you see, Goose, is the splashings coming from a little bit up ahead. You can see the pond, but the 3 that are splashing, carrying on, are up over here. One gets sort of knocked over and kicked over and splashes into the water as it gets up and starts to try and chase the other 2 around. And they start running and kind of chasing each other back and forth in here. While the other ones are all in the midst of eating or drinking from this water.
Bjorn
Okay,
whispers
so
up.
yeah,
What is
I come back to the group and I relay what we said or what I saw.
Okay.
looking like we're probably gonna have a fight?
So, do we get nothing but the hit points of what we leveled up, or what do we get exactly?
I'm gonna say until you rested, like either whether it be an hour spent as a short rest or a long rest, that's when your features other than just your hit point increase will kick in.
Okay.
But since there was a lot of active searching, harvesting, farming crystals and things like that. There wasn't much rest spent.
Okay.
But so at this moment, as far as like utility, you don't have much of your gained yet, but you feel a bit stronger so far.
Ooh,
Do we think we could deal with them, or do we need to take a little bit of a break?
we just try to sneak around, do you think? Or do you think?
I think we're ready for a fight.
I don't know.
Sure, if it's just a few.
I didn't think he was gonna make it out of the cave, so I think maybe we should rest for him. And I'm pointing at Barney.
If we rest here, they'll just find us. They got good snouts on them.
Bjorn
Yeah.
chimed. So unfortunately, this would be a good place for an animal to bed down.
I have a
Growing
feeling we
up,
might be in their nests. I think you're right.
We got the jump on them. We could take
being
advantage of that.
Yeah, we could ambush them.
hunting and everything the way I have growing up with my mother and parents in the mountains, caves are always normally a good hiding ground and place to lay down at night for animals. So we very well could be right here resting and they come across us while we're resting and get the jump.
Well, that's why I brought you guys along. So whatever you say.
We fight them and beat them.
They're gonna get me killed. I start mumbling to myself. Can't believe they're doing this.
I stop. I look back at Mumbleman. You wanted to come to the cave for your supplies.
You can't be this loud when we're trying to get by. If we're trying to sneak by them at all.
Bjorn wants to start kind of sneak out of the cave and kind of hide behind the trees.
Okay.
Um,
Get a stealth check from anyone who wishes to try and sneak out of the cave, rather than just sort of emerging and sort of walking through.
Yeah.
Those who wish to try and skulk and use the bushes and all that stuff, give me a stealth.
Do I have disadvantage with chainmail?
Chainmail, I think so.
If it's a heavy armor, yes.
Okay, it's just in
Chainmail,
there.
yes.
It puts
Yeah.
it. Yeah, it puts it in there by it. Literally put it in there by itself. I think.
Yeah, it is.
Well, I also clicked it, but
Yeah, so a 12. Okay. Goose and Altair, you feel pretty confident as you begin to sort of skulk through. Obviously, Goose, you were doing this before you moved back in, but that carries through. Altair, you feel pretty confident in your ability to move through here without making much sound. Bjorn, you emerge and start to move through. Your large form, as you start to push into some of the trees, you're starting to catch, just the top of your bow catches on one of the branches behind you, and you're like, shit. You have to like bend over and like, okay. And then you go, which begins to start to stir a little bit of the bushes as you're like, shit, get low. Barney, same thing. You sort of emerge out, and not that your chain's starting to rattle, but realize the quicker you're moving, the more noise you're going to make, and you slow down, start to like take it step by step. And then Mumble Man, what are you doing?
Mumble Man hasn't moved at all yet. He's just standing
Okay.
put.
Okay. They definitely haven't quite noticed you yet. The large one that was standing, that's sort of this matriarch of the group, has started to occasionally like call out, which riles some of the group, and they start to emerge back to it, as she calls out, and they come closer, and then 10 or so seconds go by before they start to just slowly go back to their grazing, and some move back to the riverbed to start drinking more water, and others move up and over here to start chewing on things that they find, and one goes and chases down. You can see it pounce on some sort of woodland creature before it starts tearing it apart, which draws two more over to it, and they just start to immediately try and get in on the feast while the other one pulls it away. You're sort of taking this all in as one starts to move a bit closer down towards the mouth near you guys, and is starting to like hop along some of the larger lilies and overgrowth that's on the water.
So, my friends, I think we need to probably make a decision sooner than later if we're going to fight or run.
Hey, I'm probably too far to hear that. I'm kind of behind these trees, waiting to catch them from behind if they come after. I have no ranged attack.
I don't
My
either.
vote is to fight.
I don't think we're gonna avoid it. We're gonna have to fight.
We can. I'd say if we do it, we draw them over here so we can at least hold an area and not get surrounded.
Before we make the decision, what's down below us, Cody?
Down below is a lot of thick forest and rocky sort of mountainsides that where this cave sort of has burrowed into. So even up to about this point here, I'd even say probably about this point is where it's just pretty much solid rock face here.
Okay.
Much similar to like what you're looking at right here. A lot of impassable area. But once you get to about out here is where you would be able to go south again.
Where, sorry?
Just out past the tree line.
Okay.
Sorry, right here.
Yeah, no,
oops. Yeah, that. But yeah, it you got a bit of
okay.
space before. It's about 100 feet away before you get around the edge of the rock.
Okay. My idea is we have some people try to hold the little path over here.
Where
And then,
like up here?
like,
Or where, sorry?
my thing is making a really small circle, but like the little path to the left of the pond.
So
And
everybody's
myself, or maybe even another more stealthily inclined individual, can try to sneak in through the pond and pincer them in between the both of the groups.
I'm not getting back in water.
Mm-mm.
I don't mind doing a little surprise ambush on the other side while you guys hold a front. We can pincer them, get them in between the crossfire.
Okay. As they come up, I'm like, it does look like they might be able to get in the water too, though.
I'm
See them
hoping to
start.
bring a couple into the water.
The larger one sort of calls out again, and they start to gather as it begins to sort of trek south. It's looking head in this direction, and they're all sort of like trailing behind in different ways. You can see the one in the middle. The large one stops again and sort of pops its head up. The other little ones start to then scurry about, spread, and look for things that they can while they hunt and scavenge. And
Well, I kind
Okay.
of look back and tell everyone else, "Hey, we're gonna be fighting.
Yep.
They are coming this way. There's no ifs, ands, or buts."
Yep. Death and destruction on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Death and
I wanna
destruction.
try to
Okay.
scoot up as much as I can
Okay.
without being
Goosefat's
to try to not be seen.
going to try to swim all stealthy alligator style in the water.
Okay. With a 20, pretty good. This one is for. So with carrying that through, you move up through. Now, these two are sort of in the midst of prowling through some of the long grass and overgrowth. They haven't reached any form of like water side or things like that, but you sort of are trying to keep them in sight as much as you can before they start to like, prowl and look around. These two are sort of feeding off of each other. They look to each other and fight over something for a second and bounce back and forth. Goose, you recognize that these two do not see. They are very, very aware of their own existence, nothing around at the moment. The big one is sort of standing in the middle of a lot of the smaller ones, sort of like scanning around. See it looking back towards each one of the group and making sure none of them get too far away. You start to push up towards the edge of this sort of bank here, and it starts to look and look and look.
Can I make like a little bit of enticing sound, but not giving away my position?
Sure thing, because what you notice as well, Goose, as you look towards the big one that's scanning around, it looks south as Bjorn and them have pushed up to this point, and it has caught something. As you go see it kind of slow moving its head, and then it snaps its head in one direction and sort of cocks it sideways a bit. It definitely notices or has heard something, and begins to sort of
Shot off from a short bow at the big one.
Okay. What distracting noise were you going as well?
Just kind of like fluttering in the water a little bit.
Okay. That will draw the attention of the two here for sure. That sort of just turn like they start to like try and like bob and look through the long grass towards the water. If Bjorn, you're going to make that shot, we'll do initiative at that point, please. Because that will launch the moment if you loose your arrow. It will be at advantage technically at the first shot, just because you are.
Shit.
Oops, shit.
Ah, that's
Dead. Killed him. One shot.
Fuck. Hit the wrong thing.
Fuck me.
Okay. So. Okay, sorry, doing this. Okay, so yes, order is in place. Say is, so yeah, Bjorn, you will be the initiator in this. Therefore, your attack, again, will be at advantage for first. But it is aware of the presence, so it's not necessarily an ambush against the creature itself, other than your initial to hit. But Goose, you slam and splash in the water a bit, which draws attention to these two, which turn their attention your way. But yes, top of that round is Bjorn, coincidentally starting us off. So a 9 unfortunately does not hit as you pop out to. You hear the like right as it makes eye contact with your emergence, and it like just goes wide. It doesn't try to dodge or move out of the way. The arrow is just a couple feet off of its target and goes and sinks into the dirt.
So
But
would I
that,
use my inspiration on that?
I'm sure you could.
Nice.
Oh, damn, dog. Okay, so all right. I take that back. It does not go up. What it does instead is sinks into like the lower part of like the neck part of this creature, and you can see this is definitely a larger version of the smaller creatures. Although it doesn't possess the plumage on its head, so either it's just rough and tough or has seen some shit. You're unsure. But the arrow sinks in and it like here just scream out in your direction, which draws the attention of all the others. And we're going to be starting after that. So definitely awesome use of your inspiration in that moment. Some damage.
Cody, just before we get too far in, it is 10-9.
I see that, and I was considering saying that. I just wanted to get the opening going for that. Because yeah, this will be a bit of a fight here. So I don't know if you guys want to take a little 10-minute breaky poo right now, and then we can jump back into this momentarily.
All of you.
write something down before I go upstairs. Fuck.
And recording is. Oh, now it's recording. Okay. It is unpaused.
Nothing
Right.
like being braked up on a Wednesday afternoon
Yeah.
with the boys.
Well, fucking break up on a Wednesday night. All right. Is everyone here?
It looks like Jesse's muted.
See, Jesse's muted, but
I'm here.
he's present. Hey. So yeah, if everyone's ready, we can pick back up. Get into this here.
Let's hit it.
Okay, so that was the attack, Bjorn. You still have bonus action and movement if you so choose.
Uh, no, not that.
That ends your turn.
I'm going to move right back to here.
Okay.
And that'll end my turn.
You can see after that, watches you sort of retreat, and it shoots down about 30 feet, and you watch it sort of like kind of skid to a stop for a second after it watches you retreat, and then starts to like bob back and forth a bit. Its head like goes down and up, and then down and up, and then it's sort of like trying to see you through the trees, but it does stop there. Goose, you're up. The two that were before you that are sort of trying to see what's splashing in the water, these two definitely, you have their attention in the moment, but they don't quite see you in particular.
Can I hold my action until they get closer?
Sure.
Okay.
Yes, you can. And you're staying put as well?
Yeah, I'm gonna stay put.
Okay.
If does it seem like they're about to follow their matriarch, or do I still have their attention?
They see those two in particular are drawn to the sound that you have been in the water.
Gotcha.
But that you're holding your action and your turn?
Yeah, I'm gonna hold my action.
Okay. The one that was near the very, very back begins to sort of rush up to catch up towards the larger one using its movement. You can see it charge through at a pretty fast pace. These two begin to start to slowly move up towards that sound. Like they just are like moving through the bushes, and they get about 30 feet before they sort of stop and start to scan around. You are hidden pretty well in the water as an alligator, and your 20 still carries through, so they don't quite see you, but they're looking towards the pond, and they have emerged past the sort of brush and have exposed themselves, but they're just kind of hanging out and looking. But they move their movement as much as they can. Mumble Man, you're up, followed by Barney.
Okay. Mumble Man is going to move his 30 feet to right here, because I measured that beforehand. And then need to double check. Oh, wrong one. 75 feet, so within range. I'm going to use my bonus action to coat my slingshot bolt.
Okay.
and I'm going to fire my slingshot.
Okay.
So I'm coating it with basic poison that I have 1 dose of.
Okay. Awesome. And it goes bing, and unfortunately 11 does not hit. Kind of goes wide, and you can hear it impact in the long grass behind. You don't have anything left to add to that, I don't think.
No, I do not.
Okay.
So you hear a quiet mumbled shit.
But yeah, it as well, sort of like bobbing, looking, sort of reacts to it as well, and sort of ducks its head down as well. Not that it would make purchase with it, but it seems to have noticed and reacted to it. But it does go wide, unfortunately.
All right. That's it. That's
That's it. That's all. Barney, you are up.
These plants that I'm kind of hiding behind, I was hiding behind.
Yeah.
Are they like dense? Like you couldn't just like walk through them?
Not very easily, no. They are a bit of a more aggressively thick plant.
Okay. Barney is going to move to here then. Actually, it's right here. So that like the spot beside me is kind of tough to get through.
Yep.
And I'm gonna just hold the line here. So that I
Okay.
have room to give behind that's still pretty thin.
Okay, so you're holding an attack, or are you defensive, or are you just staying put?
I'll prepare a defensive stance.
Okay.
But I don't
Okay.
think they're making it to
Very well.
me.
Yeah, they are still. There's a bit of distance here between.
Yeah, but I'm not giving up. I'm not like this is where I need to be. So
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, you stay put. The others begin to do the same. The others that were sort of behind this one here makes its dash up in 2. Same with this one is going to make its rush dash towards the whatever's been happening. As long as this one as well is going to rush up about 30 feet and stop, and then sort of like scrape past as it doesn't seem to be running any further away from, I guess, its kin. Altair, you're up, followed by Bjorn.
I will actually before I got there, I would be like, all right, buddy, you got this. I'll kind of jump up and down with my sword and shield. That's all. That's all
As
I
he
would do.
does that, Altair's like, I gotta get in front of this weak, puny human because he's been scratched up. So I literally go right here.
Okay.
Bonus action, shillelagh. Action, I'll take the dodge action.
Okay, awesome. Bjorn.
I will. What kind of cover does it give for that tree that I'm way back here?
It would give partial cover to just try and get through the foliage, so it would add a little bit to its AC.
Well, I ignore up to 3/4
That's right.
cover.
So you would study through some of the open gaps of some of these tree limbs and you might have to reposition about 5 feet just to sort of to give yourself that vantage. But if you ignore any form of cover, you can try to make a shot through there without any impedance.
I move over just a little bit, and I will pop a shot off at the matriarch.
Okay.
The short bow.
Awesome. A 20 does hit. I understand.
Hold on. My bad.
I always take the first roll of the false advantage. So yeah, 20 definitely will hit. Landing true again as it and you can see all the other ones after it lets out that call. They all just like lower in their stance, and it looks like they're all getting ready to charge in direction, or at least heed the call of its larger member there. And
Back
that
over just a little bit.
is
That's my turn.
okay. Action, movement, bonus action, in any form.
No, I moved back over where I was.
Oh, okay.
And that's it.
Okay. You can see and hear the as it starts to grind its talons into the dirt and starts to and moves. And it rushes down to about here and then skids to a halt as it takes note of everybody. And then you can see it bob its head down low, and you guys get the first glimpse of this larger, almost plumeless Macao. The head is completely void of like the feathers and stuff that used to grow on some of the smaller ones, whether it's seen battle or been burnt or something before, you're unsure. But it is a lot larger, as it's probably roughly about the height of Bjorn, about 8 or so feet to the top of its head. But it does bob it low and starts to scan everyone as it seems to take up some sort of position here. Goose, you're up. The two that were approaching you still have not seen you, but they're cautiously approaching and sort of have emerged from the grass along the shore that you are sort of still hiding in the water.
Oh man, I'm gonna hold my action one more time.
Sure. Awesome. And that will be Goose. So with you holding again, you're sort of alligatoring. So this one starts to like move closer. This one moves to the shoreline and like moves down, starts to step into the water for the first time. And then this one moves up as it seems to either take note of you or might think you're something. And it comes over within 5 feet of you and starts to like lean down to smell near the water and the mud. It is within striking range.
I'm gonna try to snap up, grab a hold of it, and bring it down into the water with me.
Okay. So that will be just a straight, just because I don't know how we're going to flavor you trying to grapple with your one hand. So it's,
Well, like my sword hand is going to come up and stab it as I like grab with the other hand and pull it down. So
okay.
like my sword hand is in it, but like the other hand is pulling as well.
Okay. So you're still looking to grapple and then slam into the water.
Yeah.
Okay. So this will be a contested athletics check. Or no, sorry, this will be your attack roll to try and grapple, right? Because it doesn't see you. Like it hasn't noticed, like it's noticed something, it doesn't necessarily see you. That technically would be an ambush of advantage, but I don't know if it's you make the attack roll to grapple or if it's a contested athletics.
If I hit on the attack roll, do you want to contest athletics to see if I pull it in?
Yeah, okay, there you go.
And then he'd have advantage on the attack.
Yes. Okay, 22 definitely hits. So you can roll your sword damage. Well, yep, sweet. And then we'll do a contested athletics check for you to now try and pull that fucker into the water with. Oh shit. You just like flip over, slam down. The creature is in the water with you. You have it grappled. The other one takes notice and like lets out this little bit of a growl snarl at you as it realizes that you had pulled its friend in. You guys also hear splashing and stuff and hissing coming from just up the pond a little bit as well. The thing is pretty hurt also from that attack. The sword piercing into it pretty deep as you slam it into the water and it begins to struggle against you. Okay, anything else on your turn?
Nope, that'll be it.
Okay. This one is going to shoot down and is going to try and bite you while you are in the midst of dealing with your buddy there. 13 to hit.
13 does not hit.
13 does not hit. You kind of see it coming and sort of like duck out of the way. And then the one that you have grappled in the water is going to try and bite at your arm. I believe it has disadvantage because it is grappled. So that would be an 8. So an 8 does not hit. That one begins to sort of thrash and go and starting to make a lot of noise, which is starting to possibly draw the attention of others. Bjorn, Mumbleman, and the rest of you guys hear this, and then some struggle is happening on the other side of the pond here. And then this one is going to rush up its full movement plus dash to get here.
Just out of curiosity, like with this thing panicking in the water and like my sword arm inside of it, when would it like start to drown, or is that even a consideration?
That'll be the top of the next round. That'll be a consideration for drown.
Gotcha.
Yeah, like when it gets to, well, not so much here. Well, the top of the round. I'll get back to you.
Cool.
Yep. That's that one move. That one move. That one move. Okay, so yes, Mumbleman, you're up, followed by Bernie.
Okay. 60 feet. I am going to pull out a tube and squish it in the direction of the large Macao.
Okay.
Just want to double check here. Yep. So, make a ranged spell attack.
Okay.
So that's
Against.
Yep.
Against the big one.
Yep.
God, 12 does not hit. It lets out this spray of this icy brew from this tube that you have, and you can see it like with its head ducked down low. It kind of sidesteps away from the blast as it just streaks along the grass and freezes up the long grass beside it.
And I will move forward slightly.
And it starts to like dig its feet in, talons scraping the dirt as it looks like it's getting ready to charge or do something. Okay, anything else you're doing?
Just the movement, and that is it. That's all.
I always feel so bad when it just misses, but yes. Bernie, you're up, man.
When Altair stepped in front of me and this guy started charging, Bernie goes, "Oh, thank God." Oh. And but then when Mumbleman steps up here, I go, "Oh, this old man's gonna get me killed." And I'll pull a big round orb out of my pocket, chug the last like little bit that's left of it, toss it on the ground behind me, and step up in front of Mumbleman here beside Altair.
Okay.
And that's the end of my turn.
Okay. Cows are going to go. This one here is going to rush up its charge distance. 6 feet. You can hear the bounding sort of like of all the little ones are starting to catch up to the big one that's made its way down. And you can see some of them are starting to branch and scrape to a stop around the corner as they seem to be charging in your direction. This one as well is going to move its full charge. And is going to get within your melee here, but doesn't get to attack. This one gets to move up about here. Altair, you are up, followed by Bjorn.
I will take 2 steps up and then whack that one.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, you do. Producing your shillelagh, Altair rushes forward, rolling a 24 to hit. That hits. You slam your
damage.
boom, it slams into it and sort of knocks it off kilter a little bit, and it sort of reclaims its sept, and you can see it shake its head, sort of landing a really good shot to the side of the head. It does look pretty hurt from that, but it is still standing.
That is all I'm doing.
Okay, top of the round. Goose, the one that you were sort of submerging here, is going to make a con save just to see what it does. Below a 10. You can see it starts to struggle with you and starts to take in water. We'll get to what happens on the top of your turn. But Bjorn, you are up.
Popping up another shot at the big Macao.
Okay. You can see it's gotten low and it's starting to like dig its talons. It's like in this pounce stage or whatever it is. 17 definitely hits. Hits the front. Another. You can see it's starting to now leak blood out of some of the arrows. It has about 3 now stuck into the side of it. When it's growing increasingly frustrated the longer it's been shot at. But yeah.
That's my turn.
Okay. All right. In the midst of it digging its talons in, the last sort of scrape, it gets hit by the arrow, and then just you see it like start to pound, like bound towards the group. It gets about 10 feet away from its initial launch point, and then jumps into the air about 10 feet up, and you can see it's got both of its rear legs outstretched in front of it, like it's going to fly and jump kick at Altair. It lands. How am I going to position this? It lands, hits the little one beside it, knocks it out of the way. It suffers a point of damage from just being forced moved, but it is going to launch towards you, Altair, in this attack. Fucking 11 to hit.
Nope.
So you just describe what you do in the moment of this creature attacking.
It flies toward me with its legs out, and I just put my staff out, and my staff's longer than its legs, and it just like hits it in the chest, and it falls down on the ground.
Okay.
Not prone, but like
Yeah.
it just can't go forward anymore.
Yeah, you stop its attack from reaching you, and it sort of now is in front of you, sort of bobbing back and forth, and you can see it's got about a foot or so of height on you as it looks down angrily that it didn't make purchase with you. Goose, you're up. The one that you are submerging, watch it go like, and that tries to pop up and fucking force it down again, and then it draws in another huge gulp, and you watch it sort of and feel it go limp in your arm.
Nice. So
That one is pretty much dead anyways, but yes, that one starts to drown out.
for this next one, I want to kind of use, I don't know how much intelligence it has, but like I like the fact that I just drowned its best friend in the water to use a little bit of intimidation factor on it. And I want to do 2 things. If it takes a couple of turns to do it, so be it. But I'd like to start to grapple it and then start using animal handling on it.
Okay, what are you trying to get out of that?
I want to try to ride this guy.
Okay, all right. So make an attack against it.
These are big enough for me to ride, right? Because I'm like only 4 foot tall.
Yeah, they're not super large creatures either. They're they only stand about 3.5 feet tall. They're not super large, but it'll be an interesting sight to be had. So
Okay.
let's see how this goes.
Come cuddles, there's fuckery to have.
16 hits. So yes, and then we'll do a contested athletics here. So not much for that fucker. 12. 12. So you are in this moment where you stab into it to try and grab it, and you're trying to pull it. You can spin it around to try and ride it, but it's pulling in such a way it's caught this one root and it's really reefing back, and you're in this sort of deadlock pull where it's pulling back and you're trying to pull, and you are just at odds with.
I got you.
So you are currently locked in this moment of tension with the creature.
Could I try like animal handling at disadvantage because of this?
I would say, yeah, sure. You know what? Sure, just because of that situation. Okay.
Damn.
It is not heeding that at the moment. It is quite concerned with how, in the moment, you have caught it and grappling and trying to manhandle this creature. It is in the survival mode, trying to fucking pull away. And it's like really doing that, like when you're playing tug of war with a dog and it's doing that like thing, and you're like fucking come here, and it's repelling you.
I got you.
Yep.
That'll be my turn.
Okay. That one is going to try and break free of your grapple. So we'll make another athletics check, please. You're both still in this moment of fucking locked tension. That is hilarious. But yeah, you feel it trying to tug away, and you hold on tight, and it doesn't get away. That is that one. This one here, Barney is going to move down and try and chomp on the side of you. You can see with the other ones that are emerging now, one just tried to jump towards Altair. It takes that moment to shoot sideways. It hits the thick sort of brush, and then tries to bite like the side of your. For a 12, I don't think that fucking hits. But yeah, you move out of the way of that, and pretty pissed off. 1 and 2, that's that one. Mumbleman, you're up, followed by Barney.
Mumble Man's gonna move here, and he's gonna reach into his cloak and pull out a handful of powder and toss a poison cloud at the big Macao. I've got a 10-foot range on it.
Okay. Succeeds.
So it takes no damage.
Okay. Fuck. Yeah, you throw this powder out. Altair, you watch Mumbleman sort of like interject between the two other creatures, and it lets out this sort of cloud, and the creature sort of puts its head up past the cloud to get out of the radius of it and doesn't seem to be affected by it, and it starts to look down towards the two of you now.
I'm not so good
Anything
at this.
else?
No, that's it. That's all.
Fuck you.
Yeah, I'll hold my ground.
I don't think the dice gods are in anyone's favor tonight, but yeah. Barney, you're up.
I didn't see that because I was focused on this guy. I'm gonna, after he attacked me and I kind of slipped out of the way, I'm gonna try to lunge at him through the bushes.
Okay. 22 definitely hits.
And
You
and then I'm
sink,
gonna, pardon?
you sink your sword right into the front of it as it.
Like, I did it. And then I'll pull out and just hold my ground, kinda. I
Yeah.
might actually slide this way just so I'm between, like, there's not as much room for them to get to Mumbleman here.
Okay.
I feel like he's so tiny they could just pick him up and carry him away and we never see him again. So I'm a little nervous.
Okay.
And that's the end of my turn.
Very well.
We didn't miss Bjorn's turn there, did we?
No.
Okay.
No.
No, I go after Altair.
Yeah. No, I for some reason I didn't remember you going.
Nope. I stuck him again.
Oh, that's why, because you're doing stuff I can't.
Yeah. Yeah.
He blocks it out of your memory.
Okay. This one here goes bounding through here. It uses its movement and action to get here. This one rushes down, gets here, and is going to try and like lunge through some of the brush. Now it's weird just because it adds a bit of partial cover to you, Barney, in the moment. Nice.
Oh, I'm getting
Yeah.
good with this shield. It's taking a beating though.
And this one here is going to also lash out towards.
Oh,
Fuck. Fucking
I'm so
fine.
good. I'm so good with the shield.
So I just need to look at it real quick. Okay, so critical. As you take 10 points of damage. So as you watch this one emerge from the bushes again, clever girl style, and you try and deflect its blow, and you move your leg out of the way, and as you do, the other one just claws right down the side of your head, down to your neck, and it sort of catches the side of your shoulder plate of your armor. And you're fuck! But that one sort of then hits the ground and looks up towards you. Altair, you're up.
I'm gonna try and hit the big guy, I guess.
Okay.
I just want to make sure that Barney's still on his feet.
Yep, I am.
Yeah.
You can't see it because you're on the other side, but I'm pretty fucked up.
Fuck.
Does a 13 hit the big guy?
13 does not hit the big guy. You swing out sideways to it, and it moves its head back out of the way. Fuck's sake. Feels so bad, guys. God damn it. But yeah, it unfortunately does not hit. This is one dodgy ass bird.
That's my turn.
See. Okay, Bjorn, you're up, man.
I'm gonna pop up another shot at the big guy.
15 just hits. And 9 points of damage. So that one sinks in, and you can see it. Another arrow sinks into it. This one right in the sort of center of the neck area, and you can see it start to snap its beak, sort of, and look around, and getting even more frustrated in the situation. But another true arrow sink in. Altair, you also see like the drops of gouts of blood starting to hit the ground as well, just from it showing its wounds. But another successful hit.
And,
Staying put?
I'll step back a little bit.
Okay.
And
Very well. Very well. This one now is going to retaliate by it spins around, like showing its back end to you a little bit, Altair, and it's going to do like a donkey kick, sort of, but with one foot. It turns back its head and slides back, and you can see its talons coming right towards. Yep. But with enough preparation and movement, you are able to predict its attack as it goes by you without hitting. Of course. Frustrated, it stomps its talons into the dirt even further and sinks in. Looks like it's getting ready for something. Goose, you're up. You're currently locked with this other one that was in the midst of trying to get away, but you're now holding it in place. So you still technically have this one grappled.
All right, so another animal handling check or athletics check?
What are you looking to do? Are you looking to try and ride this fucker again?
Yup.
Okay, so it'll be an animal handling check just flat out this time. Not disadvantage in this moment, in this particular case. See what happens here. A 21. So you're able to grapple it enough to spin it around to mount it. Now, proportionally, you're roughly about the same size. It's a bit smaller than you, but you are on its back, and you have it still technically grappled, like arm around the neck style, and you're trying to tame it enough to ride it, and it begins to start to kick and not like that, and you can see it start to like give out under your weight. So you're in the midst of trying to tame it. It can't really react further and can't bite you in the moment either.
Can I bite it? Not really for damage, just for
Yes.
combination purposes.
Yes, you can. Bjorn, you hear splashing still up here, and then like, but yes, okay. So you are on top of this one and starting to buckle and try to buck a bit, but you're overpowering at the moment.
Cool. That's my turn. I'm out of bunny hops, so
Okay. So I'm going. It's the top of the turn here. It is. What am I going to do? So let's do this, Jesse. Above a 10 or below a 10?
I'm choosing.
Yeah.
Let's go above.
Above? Okay. Okay, so it is still bucking and trying to get away from you. It's not quite tamed yet, but it is opposing you still.
Got you.
Okay. Flavor roll there. But it can't move, it can't do anything. You kind of have it locked in this moment. It's not having a good time. This one moves here and is going to try and attack you, Barney. It has a +2 to that attack. Technically flanking with his buddy. 13.
Misses.
You are starting to realize that you're getting surrounded by these little fuckers that are starting to emerge from the bushes, and they're trying to snap and try at you as you're there, and you're just moving your legs out of the way, put your sword down enough to sort of get them to not do that. Mumbleman, you're up. You're watching Barney start to parry and defend against 3 of them that are starting to emerge from the bushes around him, while you still have the other large one starting to try and attack Altair before you.
Has Barney hit one of these guys yet? And if so, which one?
This one.
Okay. So I'm gonna give up on my scientific expertise and drop my short sword.
Fucking nat 20, baby. Let's do this.
Please.
We need that old man rage again.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go full old man rage with the battle cry.
How is this battle cry?
I haven't come up with something yet. Give me a second. Let me think.
Raises his arms too fast, hurts his shoulder, can't swing the sword anymore.
His battle cry is this scream of pain as he swings it.
Try yelling, "Get off my lawn." That might get you in the character.
Get off my lawn! Okay, for this one, it's gonna be. I'm gonna make you my dinner.
Yeah. Fucking nice. Okay, sweet.
So close.
That one you run it through, and then as you withdraw your blade, you watch that arterial spray just hit the grass, and it just like wobbles its head for a second, and then hits the ground. That one is felled.
Is disengage a thing?
Disengage is a thing for rogues as a bonus action.
Not as bonus action as my movement, but no, okay.
Yeah, disengage can be taken as an action.
Yeah, all right. Then fuck it, I'm gonna move up here
Okay.
and block the chance for advantage.
Okay, so I'm just gonna shove that just slightly out of the way. Yeah.
Yep.
Fuck it.
I firmly stop on him as I move forward, like aiming for his face and neck and squishingness and
The one that
continuing with the old man rage.
You stab through that other one. You watch the one that's sort of between Barney and you. It just tries to rake its claws down as you sort of move away. And rake its claws, it fucking does. Wow, that is fucking 13, 13 points of slashing damage.
Actually collapses in behind him.
Oh, fuck me. Okay, sweet.
We might die here.
That's fucked up. But yeah, it rakes its claws in retaliation.
What can I tell you? I use too much old man rage, okay?
If he's
And-
dead, can we still bring him to town?
Do you think
Look
they
at
give
these
us
wounds are
I-
money?
I am not dead. I am still breathing. I am at 0 hit points even. So
It's so
Okay,
sad
so-
he died so soon. Oh.
Barney, you're up, man.
As Barney kind of dodges this when he goes to attack it, but Mumbleman just kind of beats it over his head, and then he'll swing at this while Mumbleman's getting himself blasted behind Barney. He's gonna take an attack at the one that just
Okay.
went after him.
Yes.
Please, D&D gods. Oh, thank you.
Awesome. Oh, fucking nice. Okay, yeah, that one gets extremely hurt. That one not having any damage yet. Really fucking almost collapses from that strike, but then bobs back up and looks at you like.
I'm gonna kind of keep my sword towards that one and my shield towards this one, and I'll hiss back at this thing like and end my turn.
Okay. All right. This one here gonna rush towards you, Born, and make an attack. 16 to hit.
Yes, hits.
6 points of slashing damage as it rakes its claws against the front of you. And then now is sort of like bobbing at your feet, like. And then this one here is going to attack you, Altair. 17 to hit.
Yep.
Oh, fuck. 9 points of slashing damage.
Okay. Okie dokie.
And you are up, Altair, followed by you.
I'll try and hit the big guy again.
Okay. Make it happen. Okay.
But 7 damage. Not the most, but I'll take it.
Describe to me how you fell this creature.
It's not the strongest hit since it only did 7 damage. So maybe when it first attacked me and I kept it away with my staff, I found like a weak point in it. So instead of slapping it, like swinging the staff at it, maybe I kind of stabbed the staff right into its chest, and it hits a soft spot, and it just, I guess, hits its heart, and it just stops beating. I guess, I don't know.
Yeah, and you slam into it and you sort of hit that vital spot and you see it almost like want to retaliate, turn to bite, and as it goes to bite, it just collapses against the front of you slightly, falling to your feet, and then its head sort of hitting you on the way down. You can see the others, the little ones, see this happen and react to that, watching it fall. But any bonus action movement?
Nope.
Okay.
Nothing at the moment.
Okay, Bjorn, you're up.
I will take a shot at the one that's right in front of me that just attacked me.
Yeah, you do. 6 points of damage. It sinks into it. Still standing, but it is not good.
I'll stay where I'm at.
Okay. That one is gone. Goose, you're up. You are on the back of this Macao trying to tame it. It is trying to buck you off. What would you like to do? Another animal handling check with a medium DC will tame this one for you.
And that's what we'll do.
Okay. Okay. Not quite there. It is still thrashing, trying to get away. Situationally, man, fuck, but it isn't having a good time.
It is what it is.
I know, man. I know. Anything else you're doing?
No, I don't think there's anything else I can do.
Okay.
Yep, that'll be it.
Okay, so top of round for that one down there. I'm going to say below a 10. Okay, this one begins to turn and run the fuck away after it watches the matriarch start to go. You do have an attack of opportunity, Barney, if you so choose.
Sorry, I missed that.
This one here is going to
Yep.
turn and run. So you have an
Oh,
attack if you wanted.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to like, hey, get back here, and I'll take a slash at its legs as it's running away.
And you can, but yeah, seeing its matriarch kind of falling
Too
down there,
fast.
and it's pretty fast to get away. Slash out towards it, cleave its feet out from underneath it. Fucking down it goes. The second one here, under above a 10. Fucking like that. This one also turns and begins to run. Altair, you could get a reaction if you so choose. 10 points. Fucking clobber that one right across the fucking side of the head and spray its fucking brains all over the fucking tree. Awesome. But yeah, those two, seeing its leader fall, turned and ran, obviously succumbing to the blows after that. That would be the ends of that. So, Mumbleman, I'll get a death saving throw from please and thanks.
I didn't think I needed to make that saving throw, but I just looked it up.
Okay, 18, that's a success. Barney, there is still one that is confronting Bjorn behind you, but the others around you have all fallen, and you're kind of unsure where Goose is in the moment, but it is there's still one still nearby.
Okay. I guess if I can get there, I'll turn and run, and I'll see that now finally noticing that, oh shit, Mumbleman's down. But I gotta get this last one. It looks like he fucked up Bjorn, and I'll run behind him and go for
It'll
the
be a
attack.
+2 to this roll because you're flanking.
Oh,
10
I
just
didn't need it.
how you felt this.
I run up behind it and go to slash, and right as I go to slash like its neck, it lunges at Bjorn, and I just kind of catch it right in the ass, and like it just kind of bleeds out as it after trying to get up from where I hit it. Like whoops,
Silver tea kettle.
that's a little ugly.
So
Like, oh,
that is
Stumbleman.
that is your turn. So the one that you're riding there, Goose, it is going to try and break away from you. So if you can roll an athletics check, please. Okay, so yeah, that one does not get away. You still have a hold of it. You're still mounted on the back of it, holding on to it. It can't do shit. I guess we're just going to carry on through. Altair, you're up.
I guess is it a medicine check to try and stabilize?
Yep.
Yes. So you see Mumbleman who's got a big gash across the side that sort of goes up and through, has torn the clothes away. He is still breathing, but is currently unconscious on the ground. You see this sort of old man that is collapsed and is starting to bleed. Medicine check. What is this? Is a DC for that.
I don't know.
It's
The
DC 10.
DC 10. So is that to stabilize?
Yeah, and I'll regain consciousness in 1d4 hours.
Okay, so go ahead and roll a D4. I'd say Altair in this one, roll a D4. Just for you're the one providing the aid to him in this moment. You sort of assess the wound, you realize it, and you sort of start to staunch the bleeding, help him out as best you can, sort of roll him over. He is definitely breathing still and is alive, and you feel that you've stabilized this man on the ground. But when the tension sort of dies, You look around, you realize you're surrounded by the corpses fallen, but there's no goose to be seen in this moment.
Do we just hear yeehaw in the distance? Just
Bjorn, what are you going to do?
Can I see Goose trying to ride this thing from my position?
I'd say fucking sure.
Well, I am gonna move up a little bit and get a shot ready. If it does break free from him, I'm gonna let one fly at it.
Okay, you can see one that's sort of half submerged in the water, and you can see that Goose is on the back of this one, sort of wrapped around it, trying to ride it, or has mounted it or something, but is currently in some state of battle with the two that were widely away from the rest of you guys. But it seems to be struggling against him, not doing so well in the moment. You hold your attack to see if it breaks free.
Yep.
Okay, Jesse, you're up. So, what would you like to try and obtain with this motherfucker? You want to ride this son of a bitch?
Yeah, I don't care how many times it takes for me to bite him. I'm gonna
Nope.
ride this
At
thing.
this point, it is kind of given up after its last attempt, especially you completely overpowering it in that, like by 5+. It has sort of succumbed and has accepted its fate, and you are sort of riding the back of it. It's not necessarily biting towards you, but you fear that if you give it the opportunity, it might. You can make another animal handling check to try and calm the creature down now if you want. Okay, it
Oof.
doesn't seem to calm down much, but it's not trying to pull away much. It's sort of accepted what's happened, and you sort of have it grappled in your arms. So whatever you wish to try and do now.
Well,
It's.
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
try to
say,
use.
are you gonna just keep trying to do this till it fucking listens to you? Last chance of it trying to break away here, so I'll get an athletics check. If you beat this 14, it'll be under your command.
Damn it!
It starts to buck you off and wants to get the fuck out of dodge. So it picks you off to the ground and it tries to sprawl to its. It's just.
Wait,
I'm sorry. I it's just fucking one of those things.
I took a shot at it because it did buck him off.
Oh yeah, that's true, man. Sorry, you're absolutely right. So Bjorn, yeah, you see it kick him off. 16 hits, 7 does a lot of damage, enough to knock it over into the swamp. Goose, what would you do if you see an arrow sink into the side of it and it collapses into the water and tries to struggle to stand?
I'm gonna try to tame this asshole in the water. I just jump right back on it using I use the arrow in its side as kind of like a kickstand on a bike.
Okay.
How is that
Okay.
thing possibly alive? Didn't you stab it already?
No, he stabbed the first one. He never actually attacked this one.
No, he jumped on the second one and he stabbed into it when he
I was
grappled it.
just uh, I just used like a random an attack
Oh,
roll
okay.
to get hold
Okay.
of
Yeah,
it.
I
It
didn't
was the way
see
it was
damage
explained.
roll out,
Okay.
so I was like, okay, I'm not taking that. But yeah, so what, you're trying to tame the fucker still? So
Yup.
what happens is you jump on it after that, and it's splashing and thrashing in the water. You grab that arrow and begin to like use it to your advantage. Above a 10 or below a 10, or above a 20. Holy fuck! Above a 10 or below a 10.
Let's go above.
Yeah, here it is. Michael Jackson's. This is it. Okay, that fucker is tamed. It is listening. It is not trying to pull away, and you are on top of it. It is very hurt. It doesn't seem to support your weight so well with an arrow sticking out of the side of it. But it isn't pulling away anymore. It's accepted what's happening. So, what would you like to obtain with this little fucker?
Uh, I'm gonna just like drape it over my shoulders, like kind of like a deer carcass, just over my shoulders and start walking back to the party.
Okay, I'll pull it out over here. Sort of bring it along with you. You guys watch Goose emerge, and he has a live one that's just like breathing pretty heavily. It's got an arrow stuck into it, but he's sort of wielding it over the top of his shoulders as he's carrying it through the swamp over to you guys. You also emerge to see a number of these corpses, the felled large one and Mumbleman unconscious on the ground. Altair is in the midst of tending to them, but Barney and Bjorn are sort of like moving over to meet you. This moment, very, very chaotic as you emerge from the cave. But the threat around you is gone. All the creatures have been dealt with, and you are now here by yourselves in the forest.
I want to try to collect my arrows from the big guy and
Okay.
the one that the rabbit has too.
Okay, so give me a survival check, please. That'll be a medium check to obtain all of them. You get all of them. So
You're like, never mind.
You
yeah,
actually find 3 extra.
yeah. Wow. Okay. I'm gonna say,
So
holy fuck, because that was a serious.
but the one that Goose Fat's carrying, I'm just gonna walk up and look at it. That's mine, and rip it straight out of its body.
It thrashes. It begins to thrash after that's removed. Goose, you can still feel it breathing on your shoulders, but you know it's quite hurt, and you do start to feel a bit of its blood trickle onto your shoulders.
That was a bit crass, don't you think? It's not its fault it's a little bloodthirsty.
Just look at Goose Fat and go, well, live chicken over fire is probably a little better than we can take him back alive and then make a fire and then we can have some good food. Good thinking getting
No,
live food.
no, this thing ain't food. This is Sparky.
I want to try to harvest some stuff off the big macaw.
Okay. Okay. So that again will be another survival check. Redundant, but as you begin to start to tear into and scavenge from this. 17. So that will grant you 2 Great Macao talons. This one has no plumage. And you can see, as you're now sort of skinning and tearing away at this creature, it has suffered some sort of burn in life at some point to remove a lot of its plumage from its body. What is everyone else doing? So, Barney, you see Mumbleman as Altair is tending to him on the ground. He is, but he's unconscious.
He's still mumbling unconscious, though. I killed it. I really killed it. I killed it with my sword.
My character just leans him up against a tree or a rock, whatever solid. Just make sure
Like a cliff edge,
he's. Yeah.
You sit him up.
Looks like you guys
Just
had a good scrap.
yeah. I'm just watching over him like you go visit the person that should be in the old folks' home, but they're not yet. So
How
Providing
tall is Mumble Man?
He's about 5'8".
Okay. I kind of just reached down and like scoop him up from one arm. Let's head back to his house. We should remember the way how to get there.
sure. I mean, do we want to collect the rest of the stuff off these creatures before?
I've grabbed some things if y'all would like to grab some, but I also want to get back before it gets too late and becomes
Okay.
dark.
Goose Fat will try to, like, collect some meat off of some of the bodies.
Okay.
I guess I'll harvest some of the macaws,
Okay.
specifically the feathers and the talons.
So, Goose, are you going to break your hold on this dude on your shoulders or set him down? Or
Do I feel like it's too weak at this moment to really run away?
it's not struggling against it at all. No.
Yeah, yeah, I'm gonna set it down. Actually, I'm gonna set it down next to a tree and do a fast, like, little tie, like, around its foot and the tree.
Okay. Sure. It doesn't struggle. It just sort of lies there. especially taking in the scenery around it. You can see it like scan between its fallen kin and the rest of everyone, and it's just like wide-eyed, like a hurt animal of sorts. But it doesn't struggle. It doesn't try to run. It just sort of sits there frozen. You tie it up and begin to tear into. What are you trying to harvest out of? Meat?
Yeah, just meat.
So meat will be easily obtainable for you to get. So you write down raw Macao meat. But Altair, if you're looking to get talons plumes, I'll give you a check.
What check? Survival?
Yes, please. Out of the 4 corpses, you'll get 1 talon, and I would say 5 plumes with that roll.
Okay.
But they are harvested. There's nothing else to be gained from these creatures.
While they were harvesting and we were resting, could I have ripped one of my old shirts that's in my bag and I'm gonna wrap it around, like tie it around my head and neck to try
Sure.
to stop the bleeding, and then I'll take the other half and I'll try to tie it around where Mumble Man's slashed apart.
For sure. Yeah, you perform some field triage to assess. Bjorn then at this point comes over and scoops up Mumbleman, offers to, get back. I would say also it's probably just past midday at this point, or, pushing closer to the evening, just because it's still been the same day as when you left town.
Well, it was midday when we left my house.
Okay, so we're pushing closer to evening time. Which for some and most you would understand. At this point of the day, the shadow begins to cast from the queen over the land. Since the sun has sort of waned in the sky, it is starting to cast that large shadow in certain areas, especially if the wind, the way that shakes some of the large branches up in the sky, it really creates almost like that rolling cloud over a meadow sensation where the shadow overtakes everything and then washes away and then comes back and washes away. So, this is starting to it's getting a bit late. But Goose, you get and Goose, you get a bunch of meat. Altair, you get some materials from these creatures. But yeah, you have a Mumble Man with you. Goose, what are you doing with the creature you tied up?
I'm gonna just like quickly try to patch him up, and then if he's still too weak to walk, I'll just put him over my shoulders again and.
Yeah, he's not. Are you just trying to patch the wound?
Yeah, I'll just stop it from bleeding.
Okay, what you do, and it doesn't seem to react other than that paralysis of fear, and it just stays unmoving, but it's alive. It just isn't doing shit. It won't walk, so you'll have to carry it.
Yeah, I'll carry it.
Okay, but yeah, you can see everyone's starting to take off, and everyone begins to catch up. I believe. But yes, everyone sort of surviving this chance encounter here. Moment of I'm not going to say extremity here, but it was a lot more expected than I thought. But leaving that space behind, you start to push into the forest and retrace your steps back along the path that led you here in the first place. And after about 20 or so minutes, you get back onto that very familiar path, as Mumbleman had sort of led you off of that path to get to where you are now. And a lot of this is pretty familiar as you start to move through the forest.
Heading straight back to Mumble Man's house.
Takes about an hour, I would say, to get back to Mumbleman's house. Look at that quick. Go. Start to move up and along, and you retrace into this area, and you can see Mumbleman's shack that's sort of down into this little gully beside this pond. You move past this area now, James. I think you redid your.
The initial warning.
Yeah.
So what was the first thing that went off when they came this way the first time? Was that the stink bomb or was that something else?
No, it was the warning, the vocal warning.
Okay, so yeah, that repeats basically,
Okay.
unless somebody's already been here.
It goes off when Bjorn walks through. Bjorn, you hear Mumbleman, similar message to the one that you had experienced when you first came in here. And is there a second one?
No, I forgot to reset the stink bomb.
Okay, so yeah, the stink bomb does not go off. Goose, you emerge carrying your little buddy, who starts to turn its head around and look. You know, it's becoming a bit more aware, especially since you've been sort of walking and traveling with it for about an hour now. And then you all reach the shack.
I'm gonna go up and see if the door is open, if it's unlocked.
Is the door unlocked?
There's no way to lock it, so
Okay.
there is a sign on it that says, you know, the man inside is dangerous, leave him alone.
I chuckle
Okay.
as I look at the sign as I'm holding the man that was supposed to be inside there.
I believe it said extremely dangerous, but
But you
I'm
know,
gonna
it was
go
an
in
elven.
there and lay him down on a piece of his furniture.
Okay, so do this. You're laying him down. So you guys emerge into the inside of Mumble's shack. What do they see, man, when they enter your home with your unconscious body?
they see the home of a hoarder. But he hoards ingredients and herbs and spices and powders, and you see buckets of stuff. There's uh, every surface has something on it, and then you also see a bunch of alchemy equipment, glass vials, ceramic vials, and different shapes and sizes, and like a bunch of charcoal and stuff that can be lit and that has been burnt. The heat fluids and there's in amongst all this stuff is like plants and herbs he's collected that are rotting and smell as well. Um, so there's a bunch of fresh stuff, but there's a bunch of really old stuff. Think of a guy that's been alone, confused, on his own for 45 years, and his mental state is constantly deteriorated. So if you do want to lay him on a piece of furniture, you're gonna have to uh, clean it off first and set stuff on the floor. But there is enough room to move around. It's not like you gotta, there's a bunch of garbage and stuff on the floor. There is garbage here and there, but it's not overwhelming.
A question.
Yes.
Are those actual dead bodies? Just in the corner.
Where do you see dead bodies? Am I blind?
The fire.
Oh, okay. So that's part of that's part of like the fireplace. That's not like, it's a really poor it's actually like here I'll show you. It's hard to find good tokens for shit, but yeah, I'll move this fire and you can see that it's actually like an organ for like a church or some shit.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, sorry, let me just here like this, like yeah. There's no
Okay.
bodies there.
And the fire is not currently going. There's no fire that is currently burning. And that would have been extinguished before he left. Not dum dum.
Oh, okay.
They're back.
Yeah. Oh no. There is a large fireplace over there that is ornately decorated with old statues or something.
They have blood coming out of them.
But yes, Mumble Man is very unconscious. You guys sort of have his abode to yourselves. I'd say
Barney's gonna
Go ahead.
Barney's gonna start going through Mumbleman's stuff, looking for that cream that he put in my snake bites earlier. Looking for more of it.
Okay.
That and anything that looks or smells like alcohol. He'll see if it looks, and then he'll check to smell.
Okay. Give me a quick perception, or give me a quick investigation check, please. Bjorn,
Investigation.
what are you doing?
Oh, you mean perception, right?
Ooh, look at you doubting yourself and shit. um, James, would Barney find any of that topical cream?
Nothing that is fresh.
Okay. And is there any sort of?
He finds
Would
very
he know
similar
if it's
containers.
fresh?
Yeah. He finds very similar containers, and he sees the fluid inside is the same. But when you open it up, it is very pungent and smells different.
You're finding a bunch of stuff that you're not really sure what the fuck it is, but you are finding a bunch of stuff. Now you start to go through. Is there any sort of like ethanol,
Okay, so
alcohol in here?
in amongst the buckets and pails of stuff, there's a few barrels and whatnot, and I do have the ability to brew as one of my features. So not only do you find brewer supplies, but yes, you do find a couple of different mild ales and some stronger alcohol as well in casks, and you do have the odor of ethanol throughout, like of a very strong spirit throughout the place.
Okay. So yeah,
Oh yeah,
Barney,
I'll use my
you'll
nose
find
to lead
some.
the way.
It'll take you a few minutes before you track down some very strong alcohol in here, but you will find some. Bjorn, what are you doing?
I want to find a way, like some flint stuff, to light the fire, and sit down in front of the fire and take my armor off and clean it up with a rag.
Okay.
Easy enough. There's several flint type rocks that he can use, and there's charcoal even to help get things started. And there's
Sorry, I
logs
forgot.
of
I forgot that Bjorn is 8 feet tall. So I was like, oh yeah, I got to change that.
and various things that you wouldn't know exactly what it was supposed to be for, but it is easily usable for tinder.
What do I need
Very,
to?
very easy for you to be able to do, especially as you get closer to the fireplace, Bjorn. You can see that there are embers, stuff in here of a more recently extinguished fire, but you might be able to rekindle that flame pretty quickly.
Yeah, I'm gonna get the fire going.
Okay. What do you throw onto?
You see, beside the fire, there's a spot where wood should be stacked, but there isn't any wood there now. There's just some bark and debris.
I asked for the hatchet we had, and I go outside and chop down a tree.
When you go
Okay.
outside, you do find a wood pile that just you can grab wood from.
Oh, I grab a few logs of wood and bring it in. Get the fire rolling with it.
Supposed to be there. You throw the log in and it starts to catch. After a couple minutes, you can build yourself up a good fire there.
I just kind of sit on the floor and start cleaning my bow, my leather armor, and everything. Just trying to keep it maintained.
Okay.
The way of a hunter.
All right. Goose, what are you doing?
I'm gonna kind of look after the wounds of this Mako a
Okay.
little more intently.
Very well.
Make sure
Give
he
me
does. Make
a
sure he doesn't have
medicine
any.
check.
Got it.
Just general medicine check there. That'll be you tending to your newfound buddy. And Altair, what do you?
I go into Mumbleman's room and just sit down in one of the chairs he has by the place that looks like it leads down and just face it toward him. And while I do that, since this is kind of a rest type thing,
Yep.
I'm going to perform my 1 hour ceremony to magically create my star map. And how I'm going to do that is I'm going to take the 2 gems that I have
Yep.
and use one that has a slightly pointier part. I'm going to use that to inscribe starry patterns on the other one. So one of the options for a starry map is a crystal that projects starry patterns when placed before a light. So I'm going to take that hour to create those patterns onto one of the crystals, and yeah.
Okay. Which one do you use?
I only have the 2 small gem ones.
Well, you have the 2. You have 2 technical chunks as well, or are you using just the gem?
I'm just using the small ones.
Oh, okay. So yeah, they'll be the
Um,
blue astral based.
Yeah, or yeah. So I figured that would just probably eat away one of the gems, and so I'd have that one more as my starry map.
Okay, sweet, cool, man. And we can elaborate on that further with what that truly means. Because I want to. But sounds good. So yeah, Alter, you step up, and you can see as you get to this area too. This sort of space seems to be a bit more orderly, albeit dusty. So he might not technically use this space very much, or something. But it's a bit more neater in here than what you just seen from where you came from. But yeah, you sort of sit down and begin to scribe into your gems and create your star map. Goose, you can give me that medicine check, dude, and we can see how well you tend to your Macao, dude.
Sorry, roll 20 restarted on me.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, that's. Barney, you find your kahal. There's a keg over here or a cask of sorts that once you sort of, you've been sort of cracking things and wafting to smell anything. You're like, wait a minute. It's almost it's like a strong gin or something. It's a really potent kahalic beverage of sorts that they've either have purchased in this cask or have brewed themselves. Sure, there is kahal here.
Oh, thank God. I'll
But yeah,
get in there.
sorry.
To drink or not to drink? That is the question.
So yes, okay. So yeah, you will get some of that. Sorry, Goose. Once that gets through, obviously you're tending to your buddy now. I'll also get you to roll an animal handling check too again, just in the moment, because we'll see how well this wild creature reacts to this situation as well. Especially since you're poking and prodding at the wounds and you're trying to tend to it. Now you've done this out in the field. It reacted well at the time, but it was in a state of sort of fear paralysis, I guess you can say. So as it's sort of gotten its bearings after about an hour and 15 or so, that it's starting to now like, okay, what's going on? And now it's in a strange room with a bunch of people, and you're poking out its wounds. See what it does. Bjorn, you're tending to your equipment, wiping yourself off, tending to your armor, your bow, and all the things like that. I would probably say this is probably a good time to end tonight's session. And end up here and pick up with Mumbleman awakening post this little short rest. I think be a good spot to pick up. That we also don't run as late tonight as well. I'm also a bit fucking tired. So
Sounds good.
Okay.
Works for me.
Are we gonna finish the short rest next time, or
I would say for now, everyone, if you want to do a short rest now, whether it's or if you want to wait to see once Mumbleman wakes up, if you choose to stay here, that's another option as well. Because then that could turn it into possibly or potentially a long rest if that's the case.
Okie dokie.
And yeah, once Jesse gets back in, he can roll that medicine check and animal handling. And then we can pick up with what that situation does too now.
So, question.
Yeah.
Before we start the short rest, could I use second wind to heal myself?
Fucking right, you could.
My character sheet doesn't seem to be loading up. Can just
No, actually, I could just.
roll.
Do you want me to do it for you, or?
Yeah, I don't mind. Or I can roll like R20 and tell you what the modifiers are.
Yeah, sweet. Actually, sure. If you want to do that, I don't want to take your rolls from. But yeah, I'm curious
Yeah,
to
I
see
mean,
what happens.
yeah. In this situation, I mean, I don't mind you rolling them for me. Just the
I
character
have
thing.
your sheet up already. If you just want to roll the two d20s, I can throw your mods on them. No problem.
Perfect.
Okay, that's medicine, and then okay. So that's a total of 9 for the first, and then animal handling is a +4. Okay, so a 10. So that's a medium grant. So we'll see how that goes. But sweet. But yeah, good session. That combat was fucking a bit crazy